a 16-year-old girl who was left alone overnight in a juvenile detention center in Kentucky. In the morning, she turned up dead.
Yeah, Janiyah McMillan was found unresponsive in her cell last week, less than 24 hours after she had arrived at that facility. Crimesider's Graham Cates here now. You've been looking into this very mysterious death. Let's start from the beginning here. Why was this young woman, this teenage girl, taken into custody in the first place?
Police have said that there was some sort of domestic incident at her home in Shelbyville, Kentucky. This is right outside of Louisville. It's like a suburban agricultural town. And she was brought to the Lincoln Village Juvenile Detention Center, about an hour away. And again, within a day, she's found dead, alone in her cell. Her family had a funeral for her yesterday. This thing happened 9 days ago. The funeral was yesterday. And they're asking one fundamental question: what happened?
Has there been an autopsy done, and if so, have they determined the cause of death?
I spoke to the coroner in Hardin County, Kentucky, where the juvenile detention center is. He said that he did an initial autopsy on January 12th. He said that he found no visual bruising that would indicate a cause of death. He also said he doesn't think there was a heart condition. And beyond that, he said the rest of the autopsy is going to take weeks. Now, what I just told you is as much as the family knows. And that's the part that people are really getting interested in. Why isn't the juvenile detention center filling them in more on the investigation? What exactly was going on there? If it was something health related, I mean, how often were they checking on Janiyah while she was in a cell by herself? Which again, it's not like every time a kid is in juvenile detention, they're by themselves in a cell.
So I know that you've spoken with people who knew Janiyah. What do they say about her, her personality? But also, do we know anything about any potential health conditions that she did have?
Right. There's nothing known about health conditions at this point. That's one of the things that's kind of driving the mystery here. There isn't some sort of disorder where they could say, here's a possible cause. People who knew her as a kid described her as a quiet, beautiful person. That's a quote. Someone said she didn't bother anyone. She didn't kick up a fuss. And every single person you talk to says the same thing, which is they're trying to put themselves in the shoes of a mother who has no idea why one day her 16-year-old just died.
Graham, clearly for a lot of people who are hearing about this story, they are going to be reminded of Sandra Bland. She was the Texas woman who was pulled over by police in Texas, brought to jail, and several days later she hanged herself. Are the investigators going to face that same kind of scrutiny here?
Yeah, and again, it's not the family that's actually saying this is just like Sandra Bland, but it's anyone who's reporting on it. I mean, it's hard to deny the association. She's brought into custody, and then she's dead, and they're not saying why. Authorities have told me they don't suspect that suicide was part of this, so it's not like a mirror case with Sandra Bland. But again, these questions: one, why was she taken in? Two, why? Let's say people weren't checking on her enough. Like, what exactly happened in order for her to be found dead alone in a cell? And these are the things that, again, we're just. I've been calling a lot of state officials and getting a lot of silence.
I think that's, the concern, too. When information seems to come out slowly or not come out at all, that raises red flags with people.